Hello, my tarot friends. Today I'm doing a really fun tag, a VR to Brian Cormack car, and it is called Tarot 5Ws, and I am very excited to do this. As you know, it comes, or maybe you don't know, but it comes with 5 prompts, and these are 5 questions. Obviously, who, what, why, where, and when. And yeah, let's just dive into it. I will be showing you a few beautiful cards whilst I talk about this, because I don't want you to just stare into the table. And I'm gonna start with Shimmering Veil Tarot. So the first prompt is who. So I chose a question, who introduced you to tarot? And the answer for this is multi-layered. So officially, my partner introduced me to tarot. One day he asked me if I would be interested in getting a reading done. And I told him, yeah, I already had a reading done years ago and I would definitely be interested again. And then, because he had this information, wow, I should be doing the card, shouldn't I? Because he got this information, he booked me a tarot course, and I was super excited. And then there was no turning back. Like, when I got all that knowledge, I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. And of course I figured out I actually have been using tarot before, which is another part of the story. So I basically started using tarot years before that without realizing I was doing tarot. So I had Osho Zen deck, and yeah, even though it says tarot on the box, I just never realized what tarot really was, and I just used it. Like, I read a guidebook and I used it. I used the spreads. I was reading for other people as well. And yeah, it was just an incredible journey, and I really loved it. But man, when I got that course, I have done it, and I realized how huge tarot is and the doors that it opened for me, and it's just literally a new universe opened for me. So yeah, the short answer to this is my partner introduced me to tarot. Then the next question is, who on YouTube inspires me? And there are many people who inspire me on YouTube, some of who I will probably forget to mention, but I will mention a few people from different channels that I follow and why I follow them or how they inspired me. So the first one to mention is one of the first channels I started to follow on YouTube to do with tarot, and that is Lisa Pappas. And she inspires me to show my enthusiasm for tarot and to express my real feelings, because she is like very emotive, and I really like that about her. Then the next channel I follow is Tarot with Ruby, and she inspires me to share my real and honest thoughts about tarot and other things. I really like that about Ruby. She's very, very honest and very direct. And I'm also very honest and direct as a person, so her channel is really cool to me. The next person is Kasia from Tarot Map. I hope I pronounce her name correctly. And she makes me feel confident as a non-native English speaker when communicating on a platform that is as big as YouTube, because, my English is not my first language, and seeing someone whose English is not their first language as well to speak so well and to express themselves so well on YouTube really boosted my own confidence, in this. So I'm very grateful to her for that. And then the next person is Will from Atypical Tarot, and he inspires me to work on the aesthetics of my videos and the flow, like that cinematic type of flow and perspective on the, on the cards and the lighting and everything that is related to that cinematic feel to the videos. And also he inspires me to not be afraid to share the atypical part of my look or my outlook onto tarot, because he speaks from a scientific type of perspective. Like, he connects tarot cards to different elements in the periodic system, which is absolutely incredible, and it makes so much sense. The next person is Joe Monteleone. And he really got me into the Tot deck and the Tot system. And yeah, his videos are so informative and so good. So if you want to learn a bit more about thought system, you should really check out his channel as well. Then the next person is Robin from Robin's Reflections, and I just really love watching her videos because the way she speaks is just so calming and kind and nice and bubbly, and I just feel like her videos are like a warm hug, you know, a warm, kind hug. Like if I would feel sad, I would go on to her channel and watch her videos because it's just, yeah, it's just so lovely. I love her channel. The next person is Sadhana from Integrative Healing with Sadhana. I adore her channel because she's just so knowledgeable. Like, she's been reading tarot for such a long time, but also she's educated in so many different aspects of spirituality. You know, I think she does healing, like Reiki healing. She does yoga. She talks about tarot from a yogic perspective often. She just really connects all these strings from different parts of spirituality together into tarot, and it's just so amazing. Like, I learned so much from her already, and I am looking forward to learn more in the future. So she is, yeah, one of my favorite YouTube channels out there. And of course I could go on and on. There's so many people like Sarah from Tangy Tarot. I really like her voice, so I really like listening to her videos, but also her honesty and her perspective is very different. I haven't seen it on YouTube before, and I really enjoy her channel as well. And you know, I could go on and on. There's so many channels I follow. So yes, these are one of the main ones that really inspire me. Then let's move to the next prompt, which is what. So I thought of a question: what do I most love about tarot? And a quick answer to this is everything. You know, I love everything. I love the structure. I love how it connects to every single part of our life, to all stages of our lives, to the way we feel, think, you know, experience the world in this physical reality, and also in the spiritual reality. I see it as a book of life, literally. It's flashcards to all that there is in the universe. Tarot also helps me to connect to divine, and it guides me, you know, when I need guidance. So I will turn to tarot whenever I feel I need guidance, but also I just read tarot for myself every single day. Just, you know, to just show me things that might not be so obvious that are happening in my life or within me. I think that tarot is such a gem to humanity, and I hope that in the future more people realize that, because it could really help people, you know, in life, I feel. I hope that people awaken to its powers, you know, to its healing and guiding powers. Let me just go to the next deck before I continue with this answer. So, more things about tarot that I love. So, I love when I do readings for other people and the way they react, you know, the way they feel so empowered after the readings and more sure of what they have to do or what they should do, or, you know, what the guidance from the spirit is. You know, and I feel like they're more sure of themselves, and they sometimes understand themselves, or not sometimes, I feel every single time they understand themselves better, because really tarot gives us a look into ourselves, because everything comes from within ourselves anyway. The next question I created from what is, what system do you prefer and why? So in reading tarot, right? So I learned on the Rider-Waite-Smith system. So, you know, that course that I was talking about was the Rider-Waite-Smith system course. And although I love the Rider-Waite-Smith system, I am really getting into the thought system as well. And this is because of how I see, many different things, but one of the main things is how I see the court cards, specifically kings and knights. So that would be in thought knights and princess, right? So for me, knights are a fire element generally. So I see them as, you know, that fast moving, empowered action takers, was the kings I see as the thinkers, right? So to me, the kings represent air, although I know in the Rider-Waite-Smith system, they connect them to fire, which, I don't know, to me it just doesn't make sense. I feel the kings sit on their throne. They're not the ones that are running around and doing things. They are commanding other peoples. They are in charge of their kingdoms, and they lead from the within, you know. They're not the ones, they are sending people to, you know, to look after their kingdom. So that's why, you know, in Thoth you have knights are fire, and then princes are the air, are the ones that are, you know, thinking, and they're not the action makers. They are the thinkers, the ones that come from logic, the one that comes from ego. So this is why I am slowly getting more interested in Thoth system. I don't really understand it to the depths that I want to yet, but I shall learn. I shall learn. And I'm learning actually from different decks that are based on Thoth as well. I am gonna dive into Thoth this year or next year. But for example, you know, the Rose of the Spirit is based on Kabbalah, a Kabbalistic system, which is also, you know, Tree of Life, and it does relate to Thoth. But I wanted to say the Vision Quest Tarot, that's it. That one is based on Thoth. And I really, really enjoy reading with that one. And then the Marseille system, I do not know anything about Marseille system, and at the moment I'm not interested yet. I might get interested in the years to come, and you know, when I do, I shall dive into it, but at the moment I am not. So yeah, I just feel although Rider-Waite-Smith system offers so much depth and you know, symbology, but I feel that a lot of symbology in the Rider-Waite-Smith system is kind of hidden, whilst in the Thoth the creators wanted, you know, to people to see that everything can be there in your face, but it's then on to you to really research it. But it's there. If you want to see it, you can, you know, because every card is packed with so much symbolism and so much information, and it's just incredible. So, and also beautiful. I think the Thoth deck is just gorgeous, so beautiful. And when I'm looking at the Thoth-based decks, I feel just a few, like, can be compared to the beauty of the original one. But that's just me, of course. That's my personal opinion. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is when. When was your first profound tarot experience? And that was when I read for my friend, because I knew the ins and outs of the situation, right? So when the cards fell, it was just like, oh my god, because I did a Celtic cross spread, which is very in-depth spread, and it shows different aspects of you and your life. And it was just, whoa, it was something so incredible. Like, I knew that, obviously, that tarot works, you know, but when I did that with her, it was just so incredible and profound to my tarot practice. Like, it gave me, I don't know, more confidence, you know, in my ability to be able to read tarot and my ability to be able to interpret the cards. The next question I came up with for when is, when did you get your first reading done? And that was in 2018, and it was very random. It was a chocolate fair. Can you imagine? A chocolate fair in a really old city, in an old town city in my country, in Europe. So me and my sister were strolling around, tasting all the chocolate, and at that point I was still eating chocolate, because now I don't eat dairy. Anyways, and then we saw this curtain, and you know, it's at tarot readings on the little board in front of it, and I was like, yeah, let's try. It was just like a euro or €2. It was really cheap. And the woman that read for me did this huge spread. It was like, I don't know, 20 cards, and they went like this, up and then down. And of course, she told me things that I knew deep down already, because I didn't tell her exactly what I wanted. I just said, oh, just do me a spread and I'll think of a question. And she literally gave me answers without me telling her my question. And of course, I didn't like the answers because there were things that needed to be done, and that she actually predicted the future. She didn't just give me advice what I should be doing. She predicted the future, and it came true. So I knew it was gonna happen anyway, but yeah, the card said that as well, and that was huge. That was huge, especially, you know, when I started doing tarot and then remembering that, I was like, whoa, yeah, exactly. Wow, you know. That experience just made a huge difference. Like, I feel when you get a reading done for yourself as a tarot reader, it's I think it's a very important thing to do as well. Because otherwise it feels a bit hypocritical, isn't it? If you're doing it for others, but you wouldn't have it done for yourself. So, anyway, that was another one. Now let's move to the next prompt, which is where. And the question I have is, where do you store your decks? As you probably notice, I have some of my decks in the bags and I have some of my decks in the boxes, and it depends how much I feel close to the deck. So the decks that I really, really love, I get special bags for. And the decks that I love but not love that much, or just don't use that much, let's say not love that much, that I don't use as much, I would have in my boxes. Or sometimes the boxes are just so nice that I keep them in the boxes. So yeah, let's move to another deck here. This is the Japaritsa Tarot. So yeah, and then I store them on the bookshelves. And some of them, the ones that I use all the time, like all these three, are on my table at all times, so I can use them whenever I want to. So yeah, let's go to the next question for where. So where do I see myself in 5 years on my tarot journey? So I aspire to become a really good tarot reader one day. Like a great tarot reader, not just really good. Like, this feels like it's my mission in life. So I want to have my own business growing really big, and, you know, hoping that people will want advice from the spirit through tarot more and more, because I feel that the world is changing. It's going to get worse before it's going to get better, of course, but I feel that we are moving into more of that spiritual, I don't want to call it spiritual realm, but more just like, feel people are connecting. So I feel the world is moving into that direction when people are seeking that real connection and not just waiting a hierophant for, you know, to be like, you can enter this spiritual realm. It's like, I feel people are connecting more and more, and that is a big step forward in humanity, in my opinion. You know, like Lemuria used to be type of thing where people are connected and they're coming from love and the highest frequency, you know. Anyway, where was I going? I forgot my question now. Where I see myself, yeah. So I hope that, you know, my business is gonna thrive, and that I would like to have, yeah, like a community of people where we would meet up and read together and just have this spiritual discussions as well, which I absolutely love. So yeah, this is how I see myself in 5 years. Then the next prompt is why? And the question that I came up with is, why do you keep on loving tarot more and more every day? Because I do. I love it every day more and more. And the answer is because it connects me to the spirit and to all there is, you know, to God, to my, you know, guardian angels, to the ancestors if I want to, you know, to any being that is in the 5D or other dimensions. And yeah, I love how it makes me feel, you know, how each day I learn something new from tarot. I learn something new about life as well. I feel like it has the, you know, when you talk to those really old people that are, I don't know, 90, 100 years old, and then they give you the advice from life that they learned. I feel like tarot has all those answers for us as well, if we are willing to listen, you know. And also why I love it is because I know it's a lifelong study, and I know I'm gonna study it my whole life, and that really excites me because I love learning about things that I'm interested in so much. Then the next question to do with why is, why do you, I think this is the last question actually, so why do you continue buying new decks, or getting, or thinking of getting new decks, or, you know, putting decks on your list if you are in at times where you're not buying decks, right? I still put decks on a list, on a wish list, let's say. And That is because I feel that, every deck brings something new to the table. It brings a new perspective onto life. It's like, it's like us people, we all are one. We all come from one consciousness, and then we are born into these different bodies that come with characteristics, and then we express that one consciousness through different, obviously, life experiences, but also through different lenses. And I feel the same way different tarot decks bring these messages through different, lenses. It's just every deck not only is like obviously beautiful and pleasing to the eye, but it also evokes different emotions in me, and just shows a different perspective on the situation. And also I feel certain decks are better to read for certain situations. So for example, a modern love tarot would be better to read for a love situation than for, I don't know, a job situation, for example. Or some decks are more spiritual, others are more material type of things, like earth elemental. Some are just more elemental in general, some are more spiritual, some are more esoteric, some are more, I don't know, tree of life-ish. Oh my gosh, I love this hangman or the drowned here so much. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. So yes, these were my answers for Tarot 5Ws. I hope that you enjoyed this. I find it really fun to do tags like this. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.